Came out here this morning and had a look in the backyard. You can just see, just there, 2 bits of bamboo. There's another one there that wasn't even there this morning. There's a few more through there, a few more through there. This one here, another one there, another one just there. There's at least 20 just in this spot behind the sheds. Remember how last weekend I said there was some bamboo sprouting up? Wait. Oh, look at that one. Yeah, it's springing up alright. See if I can quickly chop it out. Just touching base again after the fire emergency on Friday. They were evacuating people out. When I got there, they weren't letting people in. So my wife was stuck down at the house without any way of getting out, and they wouldn't let me drive down. After pacing around and asking what was going on for about an hour to an hour, maybe 2, I ended up getting driven in by a rural fire service guy in one of their 4-wheel drives. And they brought a few people in, dropped some people off at their houses where they had cars to be able to get back out. But because I had to leave my car up, they drove me down. They got down to the house, waited for us to basically grab some things and get the dogs, and then he drove us back out to the car. And they were basically just evacuating the whole neighbourhood. We drove down towards Penrith to get away from all the smoke, found somewhere, like a guest house, that it would take the dogs, and stayed there the night. About midday Saturday, they were letting residents back in. Still had to be on alert, but we came back up and they were only letting residents in, so we went in. Sunday was okay. It's still a total fire ban up here. Went into work today. I'm now driving back to the house, and I've got to do my HSC marking online tonight. But the fire warning for tomorrow is catastrophic, and they said it's the first time they've ever used this status for the areas, but it's almost the whole Sydney Basin, Blue Mountains, Southern Illawarra, Northern area. Apparently the whole eastern side of the state is going to be under catastrophic conditions. Really high heat, low humidity, strong winds, that sort of stuff, and they're saying to everybody, you may need to bug out. So I'm not going to work tomorrow. I told my boss. My wife has said when I get back to the house, can you hook up the trailer? We might be grabbing a number of things, and if they say you need to get out, loading it in the trailer in the car, get the dogs in, and out we go. I really hope it doesn't come to that. Thought of losing everything else is stressful, and I don't know where we'd bug out to. Most of the primary schools, most of the high schools in the mountains, Sydney, anywhere there where it's close to bushland, all the schools are closed tomorrow. So everybody's taking this really seriously. Just driving past the fire brigade now. I've just pulled in near my house. Now the good thing is I only live 2 k's from the fire brigade, so you would hope that they'd be able to look after the place. But it was down on this street, or to the side of this street, where the emergency was on Friday. It was all over that side. Latest reports have been that it was deliberately lit. Some numbnut piece of crap deliberately lit a fire during a total fire ban on a really windy day, threatening houses and lives. And there's a whole stack of fires up north at the moment, and there's been a couple of confirmed deaths of people who've died in these fires that were up north. They got trapped, and I think that's our fear of getting trapped in the fires, because there's not a lot of directions you can go to get out of the mountains. It's either one road up or one road down, and one road out from where we are. So that's the situation at the moment. I tried dragging some of the dry stuff that had been chopped up in our yard because it hasn't been mulched yet. I tried dragging it down the back of the yard to get it away from the sheds and the house and that sort of stuff. Trouble is, everything everywhere is so dry at the moment. The whole of the state is a literal tinderbox. touch base with you. So it's been a high alert fire warning. You can see the wind sort of picking up. They reckon it's meant to pick up a lot tonight. Stayed home from work and we're basically getting things packed up, like the sentimental things that you just can't replace, and so we're getting those into bags so that if we need to, we can just throw everything in the back of the car and the trailer and just go. Organised to go to either an aunt's or a cousin's. But I've just spoken with the fire brigade, and we spoke with them this morning as well about the fire that was just over this ridge. There was a fire just the other side of that tree line. Yeah. That tree line that sort of blocked me coming in on Friday. And they said they've got that out. They've just spent the day going around and checking and dousing any little embers or that sort of stuff they might find. So when I rang just then, they said it's out, it's fine, and that was what we were concerned about, because there are fires all over the rest of the state creating havoc. Not sure what the weather's like. It's meant to be like tomorrow as well. So it's Thursday, back at work after taking the last 2 days off because of the threat of fire to the house with the winds and that sort of stuff. That all turned out to be good. Our local fire brigade did an excellent job getting that other fire under control. So even though the winds were strong, we were safe. Because I had to bolt off on the Friday, my class was meant to do the paper boxes, and I just started to before I got called out. And one of my staff came in and sort of helped out for a bit before we got the classes combined with another group. However, this is what they did with the paper boxes. So they've basically created a box that's similar to what is meant to be with the metal box. And now today, I had the kids mark out the same thing on steel. And the difference with this one was that I showed them that we had other tools rather than just having to use a scriber and a ruler to mark out, that in order to get the parallel lines, we have marking gauges. Now these marking gauges are a fairly simple design that one of my previous staff made up a whole stack of. We've got 2 working models in this room. The other 4 have had this bit stolen. And I've just noticed because I'm hardly down here. But these ones, just like any other marking gauge, loosen the nut, slide it up to the measurement you want, and I showed them you set it to 10. Let's see if I can demonstrate. So just like a woodworking marking gauge, we set it to 10 mil, get a piece of steel, hang it off the edge, sit it at the side, and you get your scribe line right along the edge. So I showed them how to do that, and then how to set it to 60 to get the next measurement. All measurements were coming off the edge of the steel so that everything is going to be accurate rather than measuring your 10 and then measuring your 50, because you're going to have to use a scriber and a ruler to do that. The scriber and the rulers only came into play for these corner parts here. So we would lay the ruler on and where the 10 and the 60 intersect, here and here, we'd just scribe a line right across. Do that all the way around. Then where the 2 60s intersect, we'd scribe out to the corner. And then this bit here to create the tab, I got the kids to set the marking gauge to 50, so we're marking out from the edge again, and that left a little 10 mil tab. And so once they've done all that, we just go around the outline of what we want with texture, so we're guaranteed which line we're going to cut on, but we actually use the scribed line to cut, and that's going to be our next lesson. And again, because of the timetable, I don't see these guys again until next Monday, which is when we'll probably start cutting these out. Year 11's back. We've been in the workshop. They're working on their sawhorses. I said they're the two that are finished their practice one. One student's away, the other one's been working on his. Got another one starting to show promise in their first one. And there's a lot of other parts. All that stuff that I chopped up the other day, just cleaned off the ends a little bit, and that's stacked in there ready for practice joints for year 11 next year. And all the other little offcuts make it over into here for doing their gussets and their cleats and all those sort of things for the sawhorse. Was chucking out some stuff the other day down at the big bins, and there's a lot of scrap metal down there that I've still got to chop up, but the workers or the GA or something have been throwing out a lot of other table legs and things. If we look out in my junkyard, there we go, you can see some table legs just sort of stacked there, some other stuff that we got rid of. But one of the bonuses was this thing. We have these in each of our workshops, but this one didn't actually have one, so I've now stored an old style first aid kit. I've got some first aid stuff over there. I can just stock this and get it stocked up like every other workshop and be compliant with the department safety stuff, because at the moment it's just been over in the corner of those cupboards. You can see my first aid sign on the wall, and all the first aid stuff is over there, so I'll be moving that, putting it all in there. It's really good. It's right near the doorway. It's easy to get to, especially if we're working outside, somebody gets hurt, run in, grab that. That's my last class for the day. I've now got to go and work on next year's timetable. Nice little repurpose for one of the table frames. Had a long skinny one with tall legs. Just stand it there. It becomes a reclaimed sheet steel back. Gotta find another one for the mesh and things. Maybe this one. I'll probably put it around the fence line there. That might work. Saturday Arvo. Marking finished last night with my markers. I've still got to clean up like a final night with the other senior markers on Monday, just to wrap up the whole process. And so no marking today, and we've driven down southwest of Sydney to pick up my wife's new to us car, and so now we're heading back towards Penrith, and she's just following. A lot of roadworks along here because of the preparing for the Sydney second airport at Badgerys Creek, so there's a lot of roadworks out this way to widen the roads and put in extra infrastructure, because otherwise it really wouldn't work out here. Because of the roadworks, this trip is just a little bit slower. Not too bad. We're going into Penrith to do a little bit of shopping before heading back to the house. That's what our Saturday's been.